West with 6 picks this season. It's the Cards and the Niners. Next.
Here's the punter, Jake Bailey, ready to do the honors. And off we go on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And they'll be led out by their 6-year quarterback. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Well, somehow he was able to sidestep that first tackler, but still... down behind the line.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Howell, he finds his man, complete. It's Wilkins. An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Here comes the blitz as they look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
So here come the Cardinals now for their first drive. And a look here at the veteran under center, their 7th-year quarterback.
It was fun getting ready for this game, wasn't it? Because normally we talk to the coaches and the players. I think you and I asked to talk to the trainer to see how his arm is going to be.
A lot of ice after last week.
After last week's game, boy, what a performance that was. And you know who else is having fun? Receivers, because they get a chance to do what they do best, which is go out and catch the ball.
Yeah, and that last week effort, he threw for well over 400 yards. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
Well, that was not what you would call straight line pursuit for a middle linebacker to make this play. He's got to work his way through the clutter to get to the ball carrier on the outside, and he does exactly that. That's called avoiding the trash.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Well, that's not the way you want to start. A first pass attempt and a first drop all in one.
Well, you've got plenty of time to make up for it, but obviously not the way you want to get things started. Got to shake that off and get going.
That throw taken in by Jamison Williams. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
That's just flat out a beautiful throw right there.
It kilometers a row. That's maybe the speed you would see on a slant, but he threw that downfield with that kind of pace.
Now, if he throws that one with any type of arc, puts a little air under it, that play doesn't happen. He had to fire it in there, and he did exactly that.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The Cardinals at 7-1 now on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The throw over the middle taken in. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 17-yard line. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Jamison Williams. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point made good by Sanders. It's now a 7-0 game. That time a 6-play drive. And it was Jamison Williams wrapping things up with a touchdown. Kick it away after the touchdown. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And they needed 2. They could only get 1. 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Fielded just inside the 20. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their second drive of the game. Just the one misstep for them in the first half of the season. 7-1 is the record at the midway point. And in terms of whatever power rankings you want to go by, they're at or near the top of the list in terms of best teams in the National Football League.
And for me, in my little bit of rankings here, I've got them at the top. I know there's still 2 months to go, and we've seen teams get off to hot starts and then fade away due to injuries or the schedule or whatever. But unless there are a rash of injuries on this team, I'd be surprised if they are a 1st or a 2nd seed come playoff time.
Yeah, this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back in Arizona, second quarter action. It's the Cardinals in possession, as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful when you're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive...
He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A great effort there. 28 yards. And the touchdowns. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball for them. They scored again. That's the way you win ball games.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Powell. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and the Cardinals are going to have it here just past the 25. And Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you're trying to force plays, right? You're trying to get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
So here are the Cardinals to take over. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Sharp. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. First target, first catch, and a 1st down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did...
And the Niners get there and bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And the #1 mission of any offensive line, you got to protect that quarterback, keep him safe back there. This time, the rush got to him in a hurry. 2nd and long. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40 before being taken down. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
He'll drop to throw. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the 49ers are going to take possession of the football. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football, because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
To throw on 2nd down, Powell. He's going to flip one out here. And a loose football. And this is recovered by the Cardinals. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free.
Now a first carry here for Robinson. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Well, I think after that run, the defense get back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. He's going to go up top again. He's got him in. Complete. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And this one is incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
They'll look to throw again. Wide open receiver complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime. Back to throw again. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cardinals will extend their lead here just before halftime. Sanders on for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. A good drive that time has had 9 plays in all. And the Cardinals can't get a touchdown. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. Halftime over, no problem with us. We skip right to the third quarter and continue this midseason contest. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They'll start on the ground here on first down. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Hasn't had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
He finds his man, complete. That's sharp. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 32-yard line. 27 yards there, a first down. On play action, they'll throw. They'll buy some time right. No, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
That's a big force incompletion there to bring up 3rd and long, and this defense can still salvage a little momentum by forcing them to kick a field goal, because just a few plays ago, they looked like they were headed towards the end zone.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
They'll run with Robinson. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
2nd and 3. This is caught. Touchdown! From 3 yards out. And the Cardinals take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. The partner, he has carried them in this ballgame throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? How do you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket?
Extra point and good by Sanders. It's 28-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. Here's a look at the 49ers offense as they make their way out for their first possession of the second half. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. Let's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
From the gun on third down. Howell. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And that'll bring up fourth down on a big sack with a loss of 5. Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as he's on to punt for San Francisco. Averaging 50 yards of boot so far as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And they will take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating at peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 48 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
The 49ers get there. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd.
The last run went so well for them. Maybe they should have just handed it off right here, too. Instead, the quarterback ends up keeping it, and the defense is right on him and wipes away the yardage gained on the last snap.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. The Cardinals on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. He'll look to throw. He's going to air one out. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. 43 yards. And the Cardinals add on to their lead, and they are also closing in on a 5th straight victory. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game. Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game? Yes, sir. Boy, that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all all game long. The receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one. Now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one. I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands
trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
A deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Looking to throw. Powell. And that will be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here's Ryan Stonehouse now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken at the 37. 40 yards on the punt, 2 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Their passing attack, even though that one was incomplete, has been really sharp in this one. It's resulted in a lot of touchdowns, and it looks like they're not going to stop throwing the football until the very end of this one.
Well, that will certainly make everyone involved on offense pretty happy because that gives them all a chance to pad their stats a bit. But as far as the actual need, you and I both know they can just run this clock out because this one, it was over a long time ago.
They'll look to throw. Rolling to his right. He's got this complete to Williams. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. How about 25 yards on third down? They'll take it. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10, down at the 33. Throw left side complete. That's sharp. Touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cardinals add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Extra point and good by Sanders, and it is 42-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. San Francisco's offense returns to the field. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like 1 possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do that? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ballgame.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Come on. Hey.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far and brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Powell. He's going to loft one deep left side here. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
At this stage, there's nothing left to do but to keep firing. And if you're a play caller, you may go off your sheet and use some things maybe you hadn't planned to in this game. Maybe that was one of them there that worked.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he'll get maybe a couple before he's taken down, as that will take us to the 2-minute warning. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Point after, right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going to look deep down the field. He's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Offensively, another big chunk of yardage, Charles, but defensively, they had all this talk about trying to limit explosive plays. They have not been able to do that.
They discussed it all week, but they haven't been able to execute it at all. Haven't been able to find a way to slow down this offense. They're seeking answers and not coming up with any.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So not quite a first and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll set up to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Niners are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. So a good drive with a bad ending, Charles, and move it down the field well. Cannot finish it off, though, as it's intercepted in the end zone.
Deflating, that has got to be the word here, because they were sharp in moving it down the field, but sometimes you start thinking like a touchdown is a given, and it doesn't always work out that way, as we saw there.
So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals, and it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the one touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that.